Welcome to Rangers Radio on the Matchday show, the world's one and only unique live phone-in show for Rangers supporters all over the world. Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome. Welcome back to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox here, back in the show is your Robert. Afternoon, Robert, since it's now afternoon, and 12 o'clock kickoffs. No usually classics, wind, rain, sunshine at the end. Clean sheet, win the game. Help me out, Robert. Highlights?
Not many, mate. Not many. Good afternoon to yourself, although it feels like night time, if I'm being honest, because that game was a very tough watch. Very poor quality from both sets of sides. The only positives I can say, mate, is clean sheet, 3 points, and that's about it, really. Not a lot of talking points in that game, really.
I thought we started all right with a lot of territory. We had them pinned back. But we've seen what we talked about. You know, we've seen Gassama on the right. We've seen young Mikey Moore that he's 18 and his decision making can be off. We've seen the lack of quality through the centre forwards. We've seen Monroe got a lot of creativity. And then Raskin pops up, puts a decent cross in, and our left back comes up and puts it in. The amount of corners we've had, well, I don't know what's happened to the set keeps coach, mate, because we've got one move, mate. And you know, we've got to be causing more chaos. I don't know. Was it a dozen? Must have been about a dozen corner kicks. Yeah, very little.
Not far off. Not far off, mate.
Nothing happened for them, mate. You know, we started big high ball, looking ball into the box. And I thought, right, we get a goal here the way we're playing. We could get a second goal and kill the game after and maybe go in and have an easy day. Never panned out like that. And like everybody else, when the clock got 85 minutes, you're thinking, we've seen this movie before. But thankfully, we've seen it out, mate, yeah?
We did. And listen, we said in the pre-show we would take Bridgman's between now and the end of the season, but he knew the tension and the stress it would cause us. And if it's like that every week, then dear me. But listen, the only thing you can say is we get 3 points out of it. I don't think St Mirren causes a lot of pressure, but as you said, as time got on into the game, you kind of felt that uneasiness. And we've been here before, even recently, Motherwell, do you know what I mean? So you were always worrying. The second goal, did we look like scoring?
No.
Not really, if I'm being honest, mate. Not really. Obviously, we get the one that's obviously the game clincher, but offside.
There's no need for anybody to be offside there, is there?
No.
No need, you know.
No, there's not, mate. But that's the thing. It's you see there, we played the ball a lot quicker and we get into some good positions. And that's what I spoke about Friday night. When we're cautious, we don't look at our best. But when we can move the ball quick, get into spaces, you've got runners, we look more effective. But no excuse to be offside. I know people say it looked quite tight, but at the end of the day, it's offside. But they just put a wee bit of extra gloss in the scoreline, but it wasn't a great game, mate, at all.
No, obviously they were the sort of talking points. The one when Moore ran through in the first half and then the handball. Right, I'm going to take my take on it. When I played, that's not a penalty kick. When I played football as a boy and a young man, right? It's not a penalty kick, right? He didn't play the ball. There was no intention. But the way the game's changed, does it matter if you don't mean it? Because Sterling never meant it last 2 weeks ago, did he? There was no intentional handball there. It's only because he was jumping up for the ball and the ball came off his hand. Well, there we have it. There's the problem, mate.
Right, there's no consistency, Ox. No consistency. And I think you're saying the game's changed. It's the fact, for me, that the rules have changed that much. And we've spoken about it in many shows of late. The rules have changed that much that nobody knows the rules anymore. What is the actual handball rule? Because I know it hits his hand, right? There's no denying that.
Oh,
There's nothing you can do about it. But at the end of the day, it's a goal-bound shot.
Sterling, son, aren't we?
No, we're not, mate. But they're both goal-bound shots. One's a penalty, one's not. All we ask for is consistency, and we're not getting it.
That's a big talking point, mate. That and how flat we were, mate. I couldn't. I just right. I'm speaking to Danny Roll tomorrow. You know, I speak to him most Mondays, yeah.
Yep.
And I'll be telling him this has to stop. This Kasama on the right, mate. We're not being fair to the boy, and he just looks awful. You're playing with 10 men, and you know, I'm not saying he was the worst because you could really study it and see who was the worst. He might have been, he might not have been, but that's no working. It's just no working. So let's be honest about it.
It's not, mate. It's not. But the question you have to ask yourself is, would he have been any better on the left with the form he's in
Well,
and the lack of confidence?
that's what it looks like, mate. Yeah, but let's hear the cameos on the left and see what happens, mate. Because he influences the game. Last time he done anything was against Hearts, wasn't it? When he made this Trinity hat trick.
Yep.
Yeah, that was on the left hand side. You know, it's just lack of effort also. No performance, all lack of effort. Now, I didn't think Moore had a good game. You can't fault his effort, can you?
No, you can't. He keeps going. As the game kind of grew on, I seen it myself that he was getting frustrated with himself, and that's when he was losing possession, making slack passes. It almost got in his own head at times. But you have to remember, he is still a young boy, but it gives you the effort right to the end, or as long as he's on the park. That's one thing you can say about him. Gisama, you don't see that on any side, right
No.
or left. It's just, we've spoke about his attitude, we've spoke about he's taking a huff at times, it looks, when he's on the right hand side, but to me, I don't think it made a difference if he was on the left because he wasn't influential at all, if I'm honest.
And when they talk about the two forwards, mate, look, they didn't get a lot of chances. Chamiti should have done better with one for me. When he says that the defenders played it, he's got to make sure that ends up in the net. Him and Naderi, they worked hard. They don't look like a two. Chamiti's away at the box at times, away back in midfield. I don't understand that when we're playing the two up front. Naderi needs to start influencing the game in the final third. He works ever so hard. That's his asset. But he has to influence the game in the final third. He's very enthusiastic, but we need more enthusiasm. But along with the rest of them, mate, they were poor. Olsen came on, and let's be honest, did you know he was on the pitch, mate?
No, you couldn't. You couldn't, mate. Never really done anything. Had a couple of passes, but nothing in that final third that you're expecting a substitute of his experience and calibre to influence the game. Don't think many of the subs made an impact. Good to see Connor Barron back, of course. It gives you that running about in the middle of the park. But the rest of them, not really. Asgard, obviously, do you want to use the word unfortunate not to score, but should do better to stay on side and get the goal. The rest, nothing really, mate.
No. Oh, listen, Asgard had a wee influence, Conor Barron had a wee influence, but nothing spectacular. Nothing spectacular. You know, it was just a drab, dour performance. But I remember during the week there, Jimbo was on he was on about Danny Roll. And when the final whistle went, I thought back to that Walter's first few games in charge. I think this is from memory, mate. I've not checked this out. I think his first game in charge was away to Superman. And Sandy Robertson scored the goal. There's a blast for the past. And it was a dour, terrible game. But we're on and won the league, mate. So it's 3 points. You move on.
That's it. That's all you can do. It's, as we said in the pre-show, you could play under par, under average, and win 3 points. Or you can play the best game of football you've had all season and come away with nothing. What would you take? You're taking the one that's got 3 points at the end of it. And that's what we need to do. We obviously need to improve in the final third, still decision making. There was no real clear cut chances today, mate, when you look back on it, other than the goal. Tav had a shot, didn't really hit it with a lot of conviction. Keeper makes a decent save. But other than that, mate, there was not a lot of gilt-edged chances that we've seen in the past and not taking them. Today it just felt like that kind of Sunday afternoon game where you got the goal when you thought, well, that's it, that will be enough. And that's not enough at times for us. We want better, we expect better. But it is still 3 points regardless. And it's still frustration, of course, but it's 3 points. It brings the away form back to a win. We obviously drew the last three and we've kept a clean sheet. So there's positives in it, mate, but still a lot of frustration elsewhere.
if anybody's tuning in and they happen to miss the game, if they were at their sons or daughters' football, or they've had to work for whatever reason, and you've maybe taped that game and you maybe want to watch it later, do yourself a favour. Don't.
No, no. Just go to the minute we scored, and then that's it. That's the highlights.
Don't. I just look. I know the conditions weren't brilliant. There was obviously a bit of wind there, and wind can affect football. But some of our passing, decision making, and I'm going to say I'll question the attitude. Yeah, because we were focusing on their praise that it was a lack of quality, not their attitude. But I thought the attitude today, the pace we played it, we make it hard for ourselves. We got ourselves under pressure because we don't keep playing at a tempo to go and win the game, get the second, take the heat out of it, then you can relax, hope for getting the third. No. And Danny's got to learn for this because Scottish teams will consistently play for 70, 80 minutes, and then what they'll do is they'll go for broken, big, potentially high balls in. And we've seen it so often, mate, and he's got to learn. You've got to kill teams off, mate.
You do, and that comes to the players. Danny Rule can shout and ball as much as he wants in training on the touchline. It's down to the players at the end of the day, mate, and they're the ones that have got to go and do the job on the pitch as soon as they cross that white line. Whether you scrape a 1-0, you go and put teams away comfortably, 3 or 4, it's down to the players' attitude. The way I've seen it today, mate, this might be a bit harsh saying it, but it looked like a team that didn't believe that they could go on this run that we're expecting or looking for to go and win the league. It looked like a team that were nervy, they were cautious. They just didn't. I didn't see the belief today that they could have going forward.
Yes, it wasn't a great game, wasn't a great performance. We'll get the phone lines open. Do you agree with us in the penalty kick? All bear for him, it's a penalty kick because his theory, any handball's a penalty. So it's a penalty kick for him. I'm not saying it was deliberate. I don't think it was, but I'm questioning what happened 2 weeks ago. And I thought that I would have been looking for a penalty rather than for that. So there's the teaser, Robert. Yeah.
Yep. Likewise, mate. I'd be looking for it as well.
Why does Jack Butland put us under so much pressure, mate? Why does he take that touch, mate, when the guy clatters into him, just the coming together and gets himself into that scenario game after game after game, yeah?
Aye, it's something that you see, as you say, mate, game after game, where he likes to take the touch, where he's not got the confidence to hit it away first time, thinking he's got more chance of making an error there than actually taking a touch and putting himself under pressure. But there's times where we don't need to go back to Jack Butland at times. There's balls on forward. I think Tav gave him one in the first half, or I think maybe in the second half, I can't exactly remember. He played it back to him, but there was space for Tav to run forward. But he plays it back to Butland. Butland launches up the park and we lose possession. We're just gifting teams possession at times. All right, it's the middle of the park, but you're then chasing back towards your own goal. And that's the problems that we've faced in the past that come back and bite us at times. Thankfully, not today, it didn't.
Yes, we get the phone lines opened.
Absolutely.
Well, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
I thought Giga and Fernandez done all right at times defensively, and then Big Giga has a rush to the heat and puts us under pressure in the last couple of minutes, mate, when the ball's running through to the goalkeeper. I just think we lack decision making all over the park. Now, I know we're young. I know we're a young team, but it has to be better, mate. It has to be better. And let's be honest, for all that physicality and all that we talked about, in the final third, in the box, we won very few headers. And arguably Nadiri should have done better. And I don't think he should go for goal. I think he should put it in somebody's plate. But apart from that, we never really threatened for set pieces yet.
I kind of disagree, mate. You've seen Tavernier's corners, particularly, a lot of loopy high balls to the back post, ineffective, tried going short, changing the angle. ineffective. There wasn't many times where we won that first header. I think most of their players were winning it. Alex Gogic in particular, you know what he's like every game. He's always up, he's physical, he sticks out where it hurts, which clearly you've seen in the very early stages of the game with that head clash. But for us, having a set piece coach, knowing how well we've been at set pieces of late, they've certainly dried up. It's only an observation, I'm not criticising, but it's an area where we were strengthening and we've kind of not really kicked on from it. We've went backwards in terms of set pieces, attacking threats. I agree with you. Nadiri at the back post, just put it back into an area. There's a lot of bodies in there. Whether you get it to one of your players for a tap in or it hits something goes in, you take it all day. But certainly, not a worry, Ox, not a worry, but certainly an observation that we've went backwards in terms of set pieces. The other thing as well, Ox, for me, that I've noticed as well for observation is when we're defending, we're still not leaving MD back up the park as well. There's a few times we've cleared our lines pretty well, and there's nobody there.
The only thing I will say, they took that result with Livingston, Motherwell, and against them in the performance. How can that team work so fast, so dynamic, and then play so flat 2 weeks later, mate? It's mental. Right, before we hear, we're going to hear from the manager, and then we'll get a couple of callers. All right. Yep. So let's hear from the manager, Danny Rome.
Danny, well done. 3 points today. What did you make of that one?
Yeah, massive. We knew this is not an easy place to come. It's a tough place. It's a game where you cannot just win this game with nice football. You have to take resilience. I think all in all we were very well organized. We had good moments with the ball as well. And finally we have a clean sheet, and I said this, if we have clean sheets then we can win games.
Yeah, a bit more nervy than you would have liked at the end of it, I imagine, but pleased with how your team saw that out, obviously. Yeah, general, I think this is what we can improve, that we have 3, 4, 5 good moments in transition where we have to kill the game. Even the offside should be not offside from our side, a little bit smarter to make a goal. But the subs makes a good impact. They bring the game home. This is what we need. This is at the moment a big challenge in the squad. Everyone is ready to go. But I felt it from the morning on. My team is believing what we are doing. There was a great energy. Everyone was ready for this game, and we make the job done today. Not more, not less. And now it's about 8 cup finals. The goal today came from Ture Robbins, of course, his first for the club. What have you made of his impact since he came in January? Yeah, fantastic. I think nearly a similar situation against Livingston, and then he didn't score. And the same situation was against Celtic at home, and today he scored. Yeah, he's always on front foot. But don't forget also Jaden. I think Jaden made a fantastic job, and today, it was also he come on, he helps. Ture had also problems after the Celtic games with the hamstring. He come through, and Jaden is there. I have this position really well covered. Both of them deserve to play, but just one player can start. And all in all, we need everyone in our direction. Another one of those substitutes today was Connor Barron, of course. How good was it to see him back out there on the pitch? I'm always happy when my players come back. The 6th position is at the moment a tough one. 2 players can start. One is in the squad, and maybe one is not in the squad. And this is not easy, but Connor took this. I think he was in the last couple of weeks always on front foot. He showed that he is ready, and this is good. Even in this position, we need all of them in different ways. And let's be happy today, not more, and go again on Saturday together with our massive fans.
I think he's pretty much saying this in code. Yeah.
Pretty much, mate. Pretty much. He speaks about Asgard shouldn't be offside, be smarter. He's kind of pretty much summed up what we've said, mate. He must have us on in the dressing room before he does interviews, I swear. Every week.
Anyway, we've been joined by Scott. Afternoon, Scott.
Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. My God, that was a hard vote.
Did you not enjoy it? What? Did you not enjoy it?
Listen, as I've said to the guy I phoned up earlier on, if we've got another 8 games, I don't care if we play like that and win 1-0, but could they wait till the second half to score to give us something to look forward to? Did they score too early?
Oh, mate, it wasn't great. It wasn't great.
Oh, no. No,
you know.
but in saying that, we got the win. That's the most important thing.
Aye.
And playing them at their home ground has been very tricky for us for the past few years.
We've not got a good
to come
record.
away-
We've got a good record there in the last couple of years, mate. You know, so we've
Right.
got the when we needed it. But can you put your finger on it? How we were so flat, Scott?
I would like to say the weather had a lot to play in it, but I don't know. Honest, I don't know what you guys feel. I just feel when Tab plays right, the team's kind of flat. You know, Tab strutting up and down, and he can't pass the ball.
He's
Tab
not
can-
he's not alone in that group. You know.
No. I agree with you there. I agree with Gassama is just an empty jersey at the moment.
Is it
Yeah.
confidence or attitude with that boy? What do you think?
I think it's confidence. I'm hoping it's confidence, and it's no attitude. But and I think the same with Olsen. Whereas, Asgard, he kind of looked a wee bit timid when he came on. I'm not saying he was brilliant or anything like that, but they kind of got a couple of decent moves in, a couple of decent passes in, you know. But as I said in the chat, and I have to say this, I honestly believe, thank God he never started Suter today, because if Suter had played there today, we had lost that game.
Robert, and you come. Well, turn the show off in the background, Scott, if you don't mind.
Hold on.
All right. On you go, Robert.
Aye, afternoon, Scott. Good to hear from you, mate. Listen, I'll start with your last comment there about Suter. I think if he did play, obviously a lot of people would be kind of questioning it and a wee bit worried about his form of late. I don't think St Mirren causes a lot of problems at all. I know in hindsight it's kind of easy to say if somebody else played it might have made a difference for the opposition, but they didn't offer a lot going forward to St Mirren. We didn't offer a lot going forward other than the goal, if we're honest as well. For me, for Gassama, it's a bit of both. His attitude has been questioned a lot of times over this season. He kind of showed what he can do right at the start, and then he's fell off a cliff. When he's been put on that right-hand side, he doesn't seem interested. He doesn't seem if he's up for it. And to me, that comes down to attitude. And because his attitude's getting the best of him, that impacts his confidence when he is playing. So I think it goes hand in hand. It's certainly a problem area. Scott Olsen's come in. He's not hit the header on fire with his performances. And it's been an area of concern for a number of years now, that right-hand side. So there's got to be an improvement there going forward. But as you said, mate, it's 3 points. That's the most important thing. Of course, the performance can be a lot better, but it's 3 points. We'll take it and we'll move on to the next game. Next 2 games at Ibrox, they could become crucial. The home form as well.
Well, you're spot on with what you said there, but I will also say as well, makes a change us actually winning a game after their Hearts or Celtic drop points. Because normally when one of them drop points, we drop points. So, many times have we done that this season.
That's true, mate. That's true. Ultimately, there was a lot of doom and gloom because of the circumstances the last 2 weeks. Know that we drew 2 games of football, against them. We never lost, but it felt like defeats because you're 2-0 up after roughly an hour and you blow it. And we did blow it. And then with the territory we had last week, and we might have had them chasing shadows and never made any chances. But you've seen the same issues today, Scott. The lack of quality decision making, in the final third. It's we've got an issue. We're relying on an 18-year-old boy to be a difference maker. He's not often been great away from home. He's popped up with a good goal at Livingston, and we're putting pressure on him. I don't think it's fair. Everybody else has to contribute, and nobody is. Raskin made the goal and our left back gets the goal. Did our forwards, apart from that one that was chopped off, did they really influence the game? I don't think they did. But the defence done their job and got us over the line.
No. Again, I will agree with you with it. The defence done their job. I mean, I think Jagers, since he came, I said it last week when I was on the show, since Jagers came back from AFCON, he's been great. He's been a stalwart, central, along with Fernandez. I think thank God we've got the two of them. And I agree with what you said earlier on. Why does Butland have to take that extra touch?
He just puts himself in pressure he doesn't have to. I don't understand it. And he can go and practice that. He's got time. Finish his session then and practice it. I know they don't like goalies kicking the ball too much when they're drills and that, when they're doing the big hoof up the parts, because they worry about if they'll swing a leg and do a muscle. But you've still got to do some practice, mate. But because that touch he takes, it just seems to put him. And what he does, he puts it towards our goal all the time, Robert. Yeah.
He does, mate. He seems to take a touch inside towards the goal, which again puts him under pressure. And he done it today. He's done it a couple of times this season already, and he's got away with quite a few. Even if you go back to last season as well, Easter Road, he done one as well, and get away with it. So it is something that it keeps appearing in his game. As I said earlier, though, there's times where we're playing it back to him and we don't need to be. So that comes from me for decision making. Do we need to play it back to Butland? Do we need to put ourselves under that pressure? No, we don't. We can drive into space. We can look for a pass, but that's all well and good as long as the movement's there in front of you, somebody looking for the ball. If they're not, then of course, keep possession, but playing it back to your keeper who's not, let's be fair, not a ball-playing goalkeeper as the modern day would be. He's not got it, and he's always taking that touch. For me, I think it's just he's trying to get himself set and not make a mistake, but put himself under pressure by taking that touch. But it's just a question for yourself and Scott, mate.
Aye.
You're asking today in particular, so flat going from where we have been. I'm not saying this is my opinion, but just to put it out there, is it mentally and physically tired from the last two games of how much we've put into it? Is that an excuse?
I don't know, mate. I'm not buying that, mate. We've not played for a week, mate. They have their time off. They're pampered. They're pampered more than Fox is, and that's gone some. You know what I mean? If they want somebody peels it for. What do you think, Scott?
Well, I was going to turn and say to you, Robert, there, when you go into work tomorrow morning, Robert, and you say to your boss, look, I put in a hard week last week, can I take it a wee bit easy? What do you think your boss is going to say to you?
No
chance. Tell you no. You're going to work. You're going to work. No. And let's face it, these guys are on between £15,000 and £30,000 a week. I bet you're not earning that, Robert.
Oh, I don't know about that, mate. What I'll say is, I'll say this to you, Robert. Right, I'll say I accepted your theory, right? That the circumstances and the nervous energy. Surely you get a lift when the door goes ajar last night.
Aye, absolutely.
And all that energizes you. You were 13 points behind. You win the night, well, which we did. We're now 3 points behind with 8 games left. Yeah. So if that doesn't energize you, what does? What does?
Exactly. That's the kind of point I'm trying to make as well, that sometimes the word mentality gets flung around a lot and the word attitude's been put around a lot as well. So it always comes back to these players. Is that the attitude to be up for it when you say you've closed this gap from 13 to 3? The hurt from last week should drive you on as well to go and cement something this season in the league. You've got that lift from last night's result. Here's a chance. It comes back to the players' attitude, their application. Today, it wasn't good enough, but it was good enough to get 3 points in the end. And we'll take it, of course we will.
Huh?
But we want to see improvements, let's be honest.
My biggest fear, sorry for interrupting again,
No,
lads,
that's
my
all right.
biggest fear is some of these players, that team today, are thinking, if we finish runners up here because it's a successful season.
I hope no.
Is my
I hope
biggest.
no.
I hope not. I hope I'm 100% wrong. But I honestly believe it's some of these players think, if we finish runners up in the league here, we've had a good season.
One of the things that worried us, that it wasn't in Mirren hands, and it was becoming tough for us. Well, it's back in Mirren hands now, and I think that's all you can really ask for in a tight run-in, that you're not relying on anybody to do you a favour. You can do it yourself. No, I think there'll be twists and turns, yeah, but it's still back in our hands. We've got a home game against a poor Aberdeen side next week. Win the game, and all of a sudden you don't know where it takes us. What happens elsewhere next weekend? You know, you never know. Stranger things have happened, but it's back in our hands. If that doesn't happen, what does? Let's
hope next week it doesn't happen that Aberdeen get the new manager bounce.
Well,
something.
Well, it does happen. It has happened in the past. You know, I don't know what he'll be able to change with the personnel he's got. You know, but we'll see where it takes us. But I just think we were flat, and that's what disappointed me. Listen, we can win a game 1-0, and you play well, but I don't think we did. Anyway, we'll be joined by Billy again. Afternoon, Billy.
I will cut off, lads, and let Billy come in.
No, you're all right, mate.
Thanks very much for having me on the show. Okay.
No, anytime, Scott. Enjoyed that, mate. Enjoyed that. You're welcome to stay. Billy's in. On you go, Billy. The floor's yours. Do you enjoy that, mate?
Actually, the Hailstones come on auction. I went out. I says, to hell with it. I'm going out to paint the back hut. You know, that's how enjoyable it was. You know, it was listen, where do you start? The only good thing is you can credit the players for us. They grind it out the result and we got 3 points, mate. Other than that, that was a terrible, terrible watch. Thought we get dragged down to their level, mate, to be honest with you.
When we got the goal, Billy, I'm saying, right, get a second before half time.
All right.
And go and kill this. But, you know, it just went so flat, didn't it?
Aye. I said that to my laddie, young Billy, when we were watching the game today. I said to him, we go before half time here, son, just to put the pressure on pressure on them, and then come out in the second half and get a goal early doors and kill the game stone dead. Didn't happen that way, yeah. Didn't happen that way. But talking about your Billy, can I give him a big shout for his birthday today, Hawks?
Well, is that because you were too tight to buy him a card?
No, hey, listen, he got cash in his card. He got cash in his card and sweeties.
Good Billy, aye, what a boy, mate, what a boy. Seems like yesterday we were sitting with Derek Johnson, Mark
Haley.
No, Gordon Smith and Mark Haley,
Gordon
mate,
Smith.
with your Billy. Your Billy was so happy that evening, wasn't
he? Aye. Big Stevie gave him the William Winton photo. He's got it's up on the wall, like, you know, that's in the house on display, mate. So it is.
Many happy returns, Billy boy. Many happy returns. 3 points and a tremendous performance for your birthday, mate.
That's what I said. I said, didn't ruin his birthday. Please, Rangers, don't ruin his birthday, man, you know. But we got the victory and that's it, mate, you know. And listen, anybody that's picked the correct goal scorer there out today, mate, you need to give yourself a pat in the back for that. He was Big Romans was the last player I expected to score a goal, believe it or not, never mind score the winner.
Aye, I'm a bit worried about what he said with that strapping on his. Well, I thought I didn't think it would be a hamstring. That's a worry. Hopefully he's all right. Yeah, hopefully he's all right. Robert,
Aye, of course, mate. Listen, when I seen the strapping, I was kind of a wee bit worried. Kind of how bad it could be if he's got a strapping. Could it be a single knock that takes him out the game?
Strapping or strap on?
Strapping.
Right, thank you, mate. Just in case you misheard you, because I get worried when I see them as well. Carry on.
No, listen, he is a player that's came in January. I know he missed the first few games from a recurring injury that he picked up before coming here, and he's certainly been the pick of the signings. If we're being honest here, Ox, he is showing you what he can do. Aye, Billy, you're right. Probably not a lot of people have him as a goal scorer to win a game, but you can see, as Daniel mentioned in his interview there, he's been in some good positions. He plays that high up the park that he is getting in. He's in an area where you expect your opposite winger to be, but if that's your fullback getting forward, we've seen it over the years with Tav being in the back post. If that's what Romans can bring, his delivery, his drive, his enthusiasm, and if he can get goals in his game, then he's a great acquisition. But I just hope it's nothing serious as well, Ox, with that. Listen, McGoma's a good understudy. He's not put a foot wrong the time he's been at the club. He's improved. He's learning. He's growing every game he's played with. He's a ready-made replacement in my eyes. But obviously, you want your player. You want Romans because he gives you that extra drive in that final third as well.
Billy?
I couldn't agree more, mate. Couldn't agree more. He loves to get forward, doesn't he? He's like, he's the closest I've seen for Arthur Newman, mate. And and that's the highest compliment I can give the laddie. I mean, he's only a young boy and he's just going to get stronger and better and better. I think, the Rangers will struggle to keep a hold of him in a few years' time, and I think the Rangers will make a right bob or two off big Romans, But talking about the back line again, I don't know if you clocked Danny Rowe at the end. Did you see him screaming at the Oh, mate, honestly, that was like watching the Motherwell game again, wasn't it? Or the back, it was like watching the Motherwell game. I'm like, get up there. And I was going to use the F word there. I'm like, get up there. Park Rangers, That's frustrating, mate, So you've got to ask yourself there as well. Where is if your manager's standing for the touchline screaming at that, you've got to question the connection there with James Tavernier. He's the fullback, he's the captain of the team. Why is he not shouting, passing that command on? For the part of taking it upon himself, his own responsibility to get that team to get the team up the park, because we're getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and eventually you get caught out, mate. Fortunately for us today, we didn't. So
no, we never gave. I mean, Butland never really had a safety, mate. You know what I mean? He never really had a safety, mate. And their goal, but the downside is their goal had one with Tavernier. One with Tavernier, decent effort. Yeah.
Aye, you're right, mate. It didn't hear a lot today, but when you're hanging on to that 1-0, Ox, yourself.
Deflection.
Anything can happen, mate. Anything. But your defenders can go to sleep for a split second. A clumsy foul which can lead to a goal or a free kick or a corner. Boy can put a worldie right in the top corner. Your keeper has said nothing today all game, and next minute there's one flies right into top corner. That's what happens when you're only leading by a goal. They say 2-0's an uncomfortable scoreline. Well, I think 1-0's even more.
Aye, when you're clinging on. What does that say there with John Shooter, Robert?
Well, my intake on it is, mate, that he's a squad player at best. I've said it before in the shows that he's not a guy that I would build my defence around. Giga's not our player, of course. At this moment in time, he's only on loan. Whether that turns into something in the future, we never know. But to me, it's a simple case of, well, Giga's come in the day again, kept a clean sheet. All right, he gave away a needless foul at the end of the game. And listen, if that was John Suter, we would have been berating him. So you've got to say to Giga, that's when you need to be smart. The guy's not getting the ball, it's drifting to Butland. There's no pressure. You're doing a clumsy foul. It's giving them an opportunity to load the box, as Billy's saying, put a ball in. You never know where it ends up. We've seen it before. Thankfully, it never came in today. But for me, Giga's got a starting position, mate, until the end of the season, in my opinion. And Suter becomes a squad player.
Billy?
Aye, I'm the same, Ox. I can't see Suter forcing his way back into that game. Forcing his way back into the starting 11. I said the other day there, it was earlier on or the other time I phoned in, just my opinion. He's maybe carrying a knock. I don't know, but they two are. It looks as if they two defenders are definitely his preferred partnership for the remainder games. You know, I think he'll maybe use them sparingly as well. You know, obviously, maybe he's maybe needing them if some. Well, we don't want any players injured, but if somebody maybe gets injured or something like that, or he's wanting to shore the defence up, then you could maybe bring him on under these circumstances, you know, just to see the game out, for talking's sake, if that's what need be. Maybe at Parkhead or something like that, we want to shore up the defence just to get the points. But definitely, I think the two centre halves that he's got to know, mate, that's his preferred option at in that back line.
Bizarre how it's worked out, you know.
What about yourself, Fox? What's your take on it?
Listen, if you just look on form, yeah, I didn't think Fernandes. I thought Tejiga was slightly better than Fernandes today. I don't think any two of them were outstanding today. But on form, John Souttar doesn't get a start. That's down to John Souttar. It's not down to particularly Fernandes and Tejiga. But since Tejiga's come back for that African Cup of Nations, he looks a more confident player. We always knew for the first time we seen him, he had pace, you know, but he's played more games now and he's very young for that position. So, aye, they're in possession. Why not? Why not? I just feel it's sad that for John Souttar, I thought everybody thought he was going to be a main part of our team, but no panned out that way. Right, so we're getting near the end of the show. We went through all the highlights. Here's a question for you. Man of the match, Billy.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about that, to be honest with you. Who's my man of the match? The only one, let's not get to Mikey Moore just for his work rate alone, mate. I thought he was the only one that tried to make things happen. You know, Mikey Moore's been Mikey Moore. He was prepared to take the ball in tight places and try to drive the team on, and he's no fear to take I wouldn't say one kick. He must have been kicked about half a dozen times at least, you know. So I would get to Mikey Moore, mate. That'd be my man at Rangers man of the match, mate.
Robert?
It's a hard pick because there's no real standout. But I'll get to Romans, just for his endeavour getting forward. Always a threat on that left-hand side, and obviously gets the goal that wins it.
Oh, that's you right in the spot now, Ox.
I'm Romans. I don't think he was great neither, mate. I think if you get that man in the match with a 5.5, it says you how poor the rest were. Yeah. So
I'll tell you one thing, all Bill will not be able to get his socks and shoes after couldn't that you anyway. Who was the best standout, eh?
Listen, we've reached that point. We're going to wind the show up. Last word, Billy.
Aye, cheers anyway, Ox. I just thought I'd come on there and let you know my hut's painted bright orange, so.
The undercoat's done.
Aye, no bother, lads. I'll speak to you during the week, and thanks for taking my call. Cheers.
Cheers, Billy.
Robert?
Aye, good result, mate. That's all you can say. It wasn't a great performance, but good to be on the show again with yourself. And 3 points the day. Title race is blown wide open now. All we do is look forward to next week, and we'll see where it takes us after the next game.
We're hypocrites, mate, and we keep going on about results or performances. Then when we get a result or performances, we get them at tight, but it just wasn't a good game. Listen, George in Niagara, thanks for trying to join us, mate. And you're right, it wasn't a good game, but you'll take the 3 points. Couldn't agree more. Thanks to Billy, Scott for joining us. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Robert for doing the show. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. And we might have to do a quiz or something after we talk about the highlights of that game. Take it away, Old School Blue.